Hey everyone, it's Albie. Welcome back to my channel. I have a review for you today, and unfortunately it's not a highly starred book for me. So this was one of my most anticipated reads of 2022, and this book fell flat. And the book that I'm discussing is A Lady for a Duke by Alexis Hall. Oh, this book I thought was going to be so good, so romantic, have so much potential. No, it didn't. It was a solid 2-star read for me. There's a lot of people that have it as a 5-star right now. Currently on Goodreads, it's rated 4.41, which is really good. And I don't know if I got like a fake book or something, but what I read was not 5 stars, unfortunately. I found the book to be very wordy and very dense. I mean, this felt like I was reading a Henry James novel. It was, lots of pages with lots of words. But you know what? The descriptions of the characters weren't there. This was almost 450 pages, just shy. And I can't tell you what our heroine's actual hair color was. They don't describe her hair color. They don't describe her eye color. You just know that she's got long hair. And I mean, I'm guessing she's a brunette. It doesn't really say. I think there might have been one reference to Raven at the very end, but not really. This is an anticipated read for a lot of people because this is a historical romance that features a transgendered female and a cis male. And frankly, I found this book not to really be a transgender novel. There's really little reference to the fact that Viola Carrol is a trans woman at all. And I don't know if that was sort of the point that Alexis Hall wanted to make, where it wasn't a big deal, which it doesn't have to be a big deal for the character to be trans, in my opinion. I just felt that you sort of might have needed some more information. I mean, yeah, it was just like, even in the sex scene, it says nipples, which I know there wasn't like hormone therapy in 1818, but I know that trans people existed for thousands, millions of years. I don't know how old the earth is, but that's been around. It's not new that people have been transgender. And at my college, I didn't take the class because I had another class that filled that requisite, but I had a professor that teaches medieval literature. And in some of the books and works that you read in her medieval literature book feature queer writing, as well as transgender characters, as well as transgender authors in the medieval ages. So it's nothing new. But as a person that was looking for something new and inclusive and exciting, this book was just flat for me. The romance was subpar. The plot, I'm not quite sure what it was. It was just to have them get together. But it wasn't like they were opposed to one another. Like, I think it was around page 150 of the book, which the book is about 449 pages. On around 150 pages, Justin, the Duke, finds out that Viola is his best friend, and that his best friend that died in the Waterloo, or he thought died in Waterloo, actually didn't die, but they became Viola. And Viola had always seen herself as a woman and never felt like herself in her form before her sort of metamorphosis or whatever. And yeah, it just didn't do enough. To me, it felt like I was just reading a sort of boring, typical historical romance. I was really bored for most of the book. There was a few highlights, but overall, I was just really bored. And this was just really wordy. Like, I don't have a problem with wordy books or long descriptions, or, just lots of dense reading. I was an English major. I took gay and lesbian literature. I took lots of classes, and this book just wasn't what I wanted it to be. And I don't think I was expecting, a mountain, but I would have liked a couple hills, and I just sort of got Kansas very flat, But yeah, I don't want to go too much into detail because I don't want to just bash a book. But it was, I feel like the Tyra meme, we were rooting for you, we were all rooting for you. And I see a lot of my friends, a lot of people, they're like 5 stars, 6 stars, best romance I've read. I'm like, I wish I'd had that opportunity. I wish I had that same sentiment, but I didn't. Um, like I said, it didn't feel like a trans romance to me, which I know that can happen sometimes in trans literature. Like I can't remember who the author was, but I did read the book version of The Danish Girl. You know, it's a movie, but it was originally a book. I read the book for funsies. Whenever before the movie came out, I read it, and you know, that's one where I actually like the movie a little more than the book. Um, and you know, sometimes people had a lot of issues with The Danish Girl as a film and how it represented trans characters and trans lifestyle and all that. And during that time, I can't remember what's her name. She was in The Danish Girl and she won Best Supporting Actress. Um, Alicia Vikander. She did a film. I think it's pronounced Ex Machina, but it's like Ex Machina. And a lot of people were like, "This is more of a transgender love story," and it actually was. Ex Machina is a really good representation, I think, or an allegory for trans romance, even though in that technically the heroine is a robot. But if you look at Hans Christian Andersen's Little Mermaid, it's sort of also a transgender love story in a way. And a lot of people have done queer theory on The Little Mermaid and expressed the same sentiment. And apparently, I don't know how factually based it is, but The Little Mermaid was inspired by Hans Christian Andersen, I think was a closeted gay man. I'm not sure if he was fully closeted or what, but he was in love with like his best friend, and he would write letters to I think it was his best friend, and express his love for him. But I don't think he ever mailed them. So like he had all these letters like of how much he had this um, it's an unrequited love, and that sort of motif of this love that one can't necessarily um get receive back or tenfold because of society's rules, etc. That's sort of the basis of the Little Mermaid falling in love with the prince because you know it didn't work, and that's sort of how the society thing worked. And if I think of the quote from I think it's Moonstruck, a fish can fall in love with a bird, but where will they live? Sort of thing. You know what I mean? So yeah, I had high expectations for this book. It sat at a 3 for a good part, and then by the end, I checked out. I was done. I wasn't interested, and it just didn't pick up or do anything that I wanted it to. So it settled in at a 2, unfortunately. So I'm not saying that you won't like this book. Like I've said, a lot of people have given this 5 stars, and I truly wish I had the same experience. I found, I wrote in my review that I found more sort of queer theory or like a semi-queer romance in cis-hetero romances than I actually found in this book. And I think this was a pretty good example of queer theory. Um, and this would be West and Earl by Bethany Bennett. In this, we have our heroine who is Ophelia. I had to look it up because everyone's using Viola. And I know Viola is like a pun for Twelfth Night because it's the female dressed as a boy, blah, blah, blah. You know the play. If you've seen Shakespeare in Love, you know, or the movie She's the Man with Amanda Bynes, that's a retelling of Twelfth Night, etc. So anyway, Ophelia is our heroine, and she is disguised as a man and lives as a man. And there are a few scenes where our hero has already found out that Ophelia is actually a woman, but he's still like canoodling with her when she's in her men's garb and she has the short hair, and that's kind of more, you know, queer theory than I found in this book. This book was pretty tame. The spice was low. I gave it a 1. There was I think pretty sure there's just one sex scene, and it was, I guess I put mildly explicit because I mean it was you know, our heroine topping our hero, but you know, nothing really new. So yeah, I just gave that a 1 because it was mild. It wasn't very descriptive at all. I was like, oh, okay, here's the spice. Maybe it'll pick up. It'll be spicy. It'll be romantic. We'll, you know, have some interesting moments there, and didn't bring the heat. And I was like, okay, so it's dense. It's, to me, not reading really as a transgender romance. It's slow. It's if this was a slow burn, oh my goodness. If your favorite trope is slow burn and you like a real slow burn, then maybe that's the 5-star. But I can't with slow burn. I like slow burn if there's high angst, if there's passion with this slow burn, but I didn't feel passion between Viola. I'm glad that they got together, but even when they were like together and like they went to the ball and danced and it was like this wonderful thing, it just felt like I don't know, it just felt like, okay, this is happening. It's like not an exciting highlight. It's just like the story moving along. That's how I felt as a reader. So yeah, I think I'll stop the video here because I've rambled on. I've said what I've wanted to say, I guess. But I typically do not give low stars, and I was tempted to not even record a video for this book, but I feel like everyone's giving it 5 stars, and I wanted to share my experience in that I experienced it as a 2-star. And you know, yeah, I'm really bummed out about this because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have another 6-star on my hands. I'm gonna have to recommend this all the time. No, I don't think so. So if anyone has any recommendations of, I think I'd like to read another trans female, cis male romance. I'm fine with either contemporary or historical. I know this being historical makes it a little more rare and a little more new, I guess, in that sense. But if y'all have any recommendations for a trans female, cis male romance, either contemporary or historical, let me know in the comments below because I would be interested to read it and review it. I don't really like erotica, and I don't necessarily enjoy when people like when it has like a trans couple and it's like super explicit, because I think people can over sexualize people because of a trans identity or even bisexual identity. They tend to over sexualize them in media, and I don't necessarily want to read a book that has that sort of motif going on. So I guess like instead of like a 5 spice, like something between like a 4 to a 2, if that's sort of how you rate your spices, let me know. So I'd like to know, I'd like to be recommended something to read. I think that'd be fun. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at I'll Be Reading Romance. And yeah, I'm super bummed. I really wanted to give this 6 stars or 5 stars, and I didn't have that experience. So really super bummed about that, but hopefully I have some other fun books to review and read for y'all soon. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll see y'all soon. Bye, everyone.